Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to be going over the new event called Roadathon. So this event will start on Monday, and basically it's an event for survival road. And I think it's a cool idea, it's something new to the game, but as I read on with the event, I realized how expensive it would be. Basically, this event is designed to have you use cans because you are rewarded by rank, basically whoever finishes the road the fastest. So it's the fastest time. Now, this is a little confusing just because we don't know if it's the fastest time from the actual start time of the event or if it's the fastest time whenever you actually start the event, because obviously with these different start times, 4 p.m. PTD, that's 7 p.m. my time, but in other countries that could be like 4 a.m. for example, and I just don't think it's fair if the start time doesn't rotate at all, just because some players are at a huge disadvantage if they're working, if they're asleep, if it's just at some very inconvenient time. So if it was done more as a personal time, I just feel like it would go over better. But I feel like it's likely going to be once the event starts, whoever finishes it first. So there's an easy, normal, as well as hard, and it's just going to be a lot of cans. Like, this is an event that I know I'm not going to be able to go for very hard. I just don't have many survival road cans, nor am I going to drop the coins or the money to get them. So I'm just going to do the best I can. They do have some pretty decent prizes here that I believe will be in the black market. There are ways to get more survival road energy refills, which, it would be an investment. So I understand in some cases, you'll want to get them so that you can push farther. But it's going to be really tough to kind of balance out how much it's actually worth. Because, there's Ulysses and Liliths and Megans, but then we get S-class cards. So we see Negan, Alpha, Princess, Shiva. Alpha would be a great character card to get, so those S-class cards are really valuable. We see some armory stuff, so varnish, grease, blowtorches, armory tokens, the weapon choice box, which looks to be very, very interesting to me. There's also a 6-star toon choice box. I think that there are some great prizes here. There's Carrie cards, which a lot of people I think underrate, but in this particular war that we're having right now, where there's a Guardian Shield on strong toons, I think she would be awesome to have. We see Imani cards. Still not thrilled about her, but the weapon choice box looks stellar. Ryan's blunderbuss, Kapoor's 6-shooter, Carrie Ann's sword, Eugene's old man cane. These look like great weapons to get, and compared to the 6-star toons presented, I would 100% of the time go for the weapon before I go for the toons, because the weapons to me are so much more valuable than a 6-star toon. Like a 5-star weapon, a good 5-star weapon, to me is so much better than a 6-star toon. I don't want to say it's on par with an S-class, but when an S-class has a good weapon, they are so much more powerful, and you can do so much more with them. When we take a look at Ryan's blunderbuss, we see a focused stun weapon, which is a very difficult craft to get. I personally don't have one yet, so this would actually be a really nice weapon that I could weapon swap onto Pete, for example. I think this weapon is very valuable, and it's something that I am definitely considering. The other weapon I'm considering for sure is Carrie Ann's prepared sword. The 4th slot is super interesting because it's completely unique to this weapon. When being attacked, a better chance to gain elusive for 2 turns, which means you won't give away any AP to the enemy. So this is a pretty valuable 4th slot. I think a decent 3rd slot would be AP down on that weapon. We have this leech life weapon, which isn't great, but the 4th slot is kind of nice. It's a pain spread ability, which works really well for heavy bleed teams where you will be applying pain spread so that the bleed stacks. I probably won't be going for this weapon because I find pain spread to be very technical. It's very difficult to make sure that the ability you want to spread actually gets spread, so instead I'll probably go with one of the other weapons. Even this weapon, Eugene's Vengeful Old Man's Cane, is pretty decent. The AP down when being attacked, the -50, is pretty effective because the most amount of AP a toon gains off of a basic attack on attack is 40 AP, and this 4th slot reduced crit damage by 50%. That's decent to have on some green toons. I'd probably switch that out just because I like the heal 10% per each debuff on the toon. So I will likely go for Ryan's blunderbuss or go for Carrie Ann's weapon with the elusive on the 4th slot because it's a completely unique weapon that cannot be crafted. And now when we take a look at these 6-star toons, Kyle, leader toon for a defensive team. 6-star lead toons for defensive teams don't really hold up very well. They give a good bonus to the team, but overall, I don't find them to be super effective. I've seen him used on attack, and he's pretty decent there because his rush is really useful. Only 58 AP to rush, 3 enemies get confused and disarm for 3 turns. All teammates recover from stun, taunt, and impair. And the active skill on Kyle is actually pretty valuable. They're trying to introduce the trauma era, it seems. So Kyle along with Willie, Angel, and that's just a few toons that have trauma. So it would be interesting to see if they're actually trying to make a trauma meta, especially because it's such a specific ability. Kyle also has a pretty unique weapon, so stun when attacking, a better chance to stun the enemy for 2 turns. He's really just a good control toon. The next 6-star toon is Ty, and to be honest, I have no idea why he's even available. He's been in the season store, he was in the Hell Wheel, he's just been around so many times, and I frankly just don't want him as a character. You know, like his rush only does 600 damage and 700 burn. His active focus and 60% AP gain is decent. Honor roll makes him powerful over time, but it isn't a fast kill. I guess it's probably his weapon that Scopely is kind of promoting. The 100% heal reduction kind of goes with the infection and heal reduction meta. So I guess that makes sense. And under that same thought process, Elena kind of falls underneath the same category as Ty. She's a lacerator, so a little bit more use in my opinion because we have a bunch of bleed toons that are available for free-to-play players, including Jason, who some players have been able to pick up from the missions for going up in leagues. Her rush, deal 400 bleed damage for 3 turns to 1 enemy and all enemies adjacent. Those enemies get 100% heal reduction for 3 turns. So again, with that infection and heal reduction meta. And then active skill, a small bleed as well as exhaust. So not a super effective active skill just because of how low it is in the S-Class era, but it isn't bad either. When we take a look at Elena's weapon, it's a special weapon, which grants her focus for the first 8 turns. So that's a pretty unique weapon to have. I would love to have one of those weapons as an unbound weapon that I could give to another character. The last character that you can pick up from this event is Rhodey. She's a fire starter, which isn't talked about a lot just because burn does not stack. You can spread it as this fire starter ability states, but I just don't find burn to be that high or that effective, and that's kind of proven in this week's cross-regional war where we have a burn tower. I think what they're looking at with Rhodey is that her rush, 66 AP, all teammates recover from heal reduction, maim, and regain 70% of their max HP for 3 turns. So it's basically the perfect counter to the infection and heal reduction meta. And an active daze just prevents the enemy from being able to use their active skills. So this can be pretty effective at controlling the enemies at least. And then Rhodey also has a special bound weapon, which is unique to her. When attacking, 100% chance to deal 1000 burn damage for 3 turns when the enemy's HP is over 80%. Overall, I would skip these 6-star characters and I would go straight for the weapons. The weapons will be more valuable down the road, than these 6-star characters. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching and listening to my video.